The only problem I have with this game is that the sprint will turn on and then not turn off. And sometimes it doesn't stay on, so I don't understand. But you end up, instead of doing like cool stuff like this, you end up running around like this. And it's not ideal. So this is one of the main features of the game, is that your saber attacks deplete, they wound an enemy, right? And then they recover that wound, unless you hit them with the claw. And there's different ways to deal with wound damage. I believe that the claw does wound damage, and then this does attack damage. And there's different types of claws too. There's like a short claw that hits 7 times in a 3 combo. And there's a long claw that only hits twice in a 2 combo. So 3 attacks, 7 hits. Or 2 attacks, 2 hits. So the short claw is obviously much cooler because it hits so many times. And it also builds up the offensive buff, and once you have that maxed out, you can start healing from the hits. So it's pretty nice. But the long claw has reach, and it's much more reliable. Because it's this, and that's a hell of a reach, and then you can do it twice in a row. So you can get some serious distance with it. And the short claw has like very little distance. And you're also committed to attacking for a long time with the short claw. But it's harder to use and probably more beneficial if you're good with it. And then the long claw is easier to use and more balanced. And that's what I meant by other ways to deal wound damage, because that hand axe did a lot. But if you want to play like maximum power, which is cowardly and is only to be done if you're not very good, but you can get 10 plague and then get scythe in the 2nd level, and scythe uses your energy, that green meter. You can hit with scythe and heal yourself for 100. And there's many, many, many ways to restore energy, so you end up having like near limitless health, and you don't have to worry about potions nearly as much. So the only place you actually need that, I think, is for an achievement where you have to fight a boss without ever using a potion. And you can use scythe instead for that. Or you could do it the hard way, which would be cool, but I didn't. But I also use co-op and summons in Elden Ring, so... Okay. Let this lock in. There's a few more people to kill if you want to, and if you're going for the... There's no achievements on Switch, but if you're going for the all the documents achievement, I think there's like 1 or 2 to get around here. And that knife probably doesn't seem that good, but it improves your playstyle when you have like 12 copies of the thing, because it gets to where after deflect it casts extremely quickly, so it becomes like a counter punch, and it's very cheap on energy, so you develop into like this stick and move style, and it makes you very quick and reactive. And it's very good against the first boss, but it takes a long time to get enough to have that on it. But it's really good. Knife is really good. Okay, we could go all the way back and be able to take 3, 4 hits or so. Or we can go in now and be able to take 1 hit. It's not much of a difference. But let's see how long we last. Well, that's the intro to Thymesia. And you can stop watching now, but we can see how long the load times are. Because I'm going to get this thing into the first level, and you can see how bad it is. But this is the hub area, which it's not much of a hub area, but it should be ready soon. What? In a little bit.
Alright. Sorry, the volume.
It's okay. You're supposed to walk around and loot documents, but yeah. So, yes, that tutorial level, it's the only place you can get the achievement for beating the boss on the first try, and it's the only place you can get those documents. Because if you don't grab them then, you have to start over, I think. Because you have to have everything on the same save file. I believe. I'm not certain about that, but I'm pretty sure about that. I don't know, maybe not. Maybe I'm thinking of Sekiro. Now let's see how long this takes to load, and it varies wildly how long it takes for stuff to load. But yeah. I'll get to work on that guy's rolly in the meantime. Yes, so from the point where you stopped watching the combat to the end of the video, that's how long it takes to load a level. I'm gonna estimate another 3 minutes, probably another 2. Oh, I hear sound. Another 30 seconds, I think. And it gets louder and then it's ready. And then here's the first level, yay! And then if you like save and quit or whatever, or lose power or something, if you end up dropping out of the tutorial level, you start here, from what I remember. You might start in the hub area, but you can skip it. There's a way to skip it, I know that. So, yes. And then, so while I'm introducing the game, I guess I will show, because this game is really good, I will show the talents. So this is attack damage, and then health and energy and claw damage, which I think is really important, but because attack damage doesn't go up very much, it only goes up by 1, and then the amount of wounds goes up by 2, and then health goes up a reasonable amount, and then claw damage goes up significantly. And what tends to happen is that you deflect a lot of attacks and you land a lot of saber hits, and they just stack up like crazy on wound damage. So you need to deplete that as quick as you can with claw damage. So I'm going to go for plague and vitality. And then here's the skill tree. So 5-hit combo of saber attacks, dodge and stab, and then you can dodge and slash. In-air attack, healing on executions, saber attack damage, energy restoration when you hit with a saber attack, and then deflect. You can get increased deflect window, but it reduces the damage, and then increased deflect damage. And the green attacks, where it charges at you and you hit them with a feather, you can deflect those, but you get knocked back. You kind of get knocked by. Yeah. But you get a buff from it. And then this replaces deflect with a block, which it seems like acceptable, but it's not, because it's really hard to fight when you're not killing them with deflect damage. It's like in Sekiro, if you didn't do posture damage with deflects, like you wouldn't hurt them at all. They would never go down. And it's the same way in this one. You need the deflect damage. And energy restored on deflect. And then a quick dodge, and then a long dodge, which is pretty good, I think. And the short dodge is really good too, though. And this, so you can it's like a Mercury counter. You can dodge towards them and jump up into the air when they do a critical strike, but it's harder to do than a Mercury. And this is a safety roll from Sekiro. Then here's Long Claw, which is insane, and then Short Claw looks like this. Here we go. I remember there being 3 attacks of the middle part. Yeah, there are 3. These misses. You tend to miss here and there, the Short Claw. And Predator's Claw, Energized Claws, which is, it already has that. Energy is restored through claw attacks. And Gliding Claws. So when you dodge towards them and do a Mercury counter and jump up into the air, you can do that instead of just the saber attack. And that's actually really good, Gliding Claws. Then you have a dash attack, and that's your second Feather Dart in a row. And then Feather Darts are stronger. And then a melee Feather Dart, which I think is very cool, but it's not, I don't know, it's awesome, but it's not very effective, I don't think. Which is fine, but yeah. And then you got a secondary Plague Weapon, which is like the knife you can unlock. You can switch between the 2 of them, and you can reeve one with Predator's Claw. So you can have 3 to choose between. The reeved one you can only use once though. And then, yeah, it takes them longer to start healing, which is very helpful. And I think it can make the game too easy. And then this is defense, luck-based defense. And then on taking damage, you restore energy, which with Scythe, that would make you invincible. if it's good enough anyway. And then item drop rate, which I think if you go for luck early on, you're cool. Because you're like, you don't need to be stronger. You just need more riches. And then this is when your health is full, you get buffs. And this is when you're deeply wounded, you get buffs. And that's it. And you choose between all this shit every time you level up. It's amazing. You can do so much different stuff, and all of it's good. I like all of it. And then I tend to get luck and blessing just because of the name of it. You're blessed and you have good luck. That makes it an auspicious run if you believe in kind of like Chinese thought. So I'm gonna get blessing and luck. And now I feel better. Magical. Okay. Now I'm gonna give that guy a cigarette. I'm gonna give that guy his cigarette and roll my own. Thank you for watching. Sayonara.